Okay, hello everybody. Today I'm just doing an install video on replacing the stock levers on my Hunter 350 with some custom levers that I made. I made these levers out of composite carbon fiber. I just think they look really neat. I did them in a style that suits the sort of cafe racer aesthetic that I was going for on my bike. So to begin with, for the brake lever, I'm just going to need a 10mm socket to loosen at the bottom there. It's just a sort of a nut there that's just holding a bolt in place. The bolt has its own threading though, so you need a 4mm Allen key to undo that. This bolt acts as the axle for the lever. So once that's out, it just slides right out. So before we do the clutch, we're just going to loosen up the clutch. We're not going to touch the nut on the left, we're just going to undo the one on the right and push that all the way to the back. That'll just release tension off that one. On this side, you need a slightly smaller socket, because this one is a slightly different size. This one I think was 8mm. But it's the same 4mm Allen hex on the top. It's the same deal. The bolt acts as the axle for the clutch lever. So once that's out, unlike the brake lever, it doesn't just slide right out. You have to sort of remove the cable from it. So I find that just flipping it over so you can see what you're doing means you can slide the little catchment end of the cable out of a little groove there that's in the clutch lever. So we've got some general purpose grease that we're just going to use on the carbon fiber levers that I made, just to keep the surfaces low friction. So I'm just going to dab just a little bit. It only needs a very little bit. You don't want to over grease it because otherwise it'll ooze out and it'll catch up a lot of gunk and stuff. And then it's just sort of the same process in reverse. Just got to put that little the end of the cable there, the little nuts on the end of the cable, just put that in, turn the lever back around, then replace the nuts and bolts on both of them. Given that the nuts is different for each, the clutch and the brake lever, it's different sizing, you can't mix them up. You can't mix up the bolts and you can't mix up the nuts. So that's something you don't really have to worry about. These don't have to be tremendously tight or anything, as long as they're not loose that they're going to vibrate off. I couldn't find torque specs for these ones anywhere, so I'm just doing them, you know, hand firm. If you find torque specs, please drop it down in the comments. To tighten up your clutch line, just same process as we were loosening it, just in reverse. Because we didn't move that left-hand nut, we know the point where it was before. If you need to readjust your clutch lever, make sure you adjust it to have the right amount of play as according to your motorcycle manual. For mine, it's only a couple millimeters of play, so you can see I have a couple millimeters play before that cable engages. For the brake, you can see that's like sort of like a little end of a piston that's sort of a rounded end, so just make sure you're going to line that up. Just make sure that goes in, and then put the bolt through. And then just same process using the 4mm hex to tighten it up again. just the nut, tighten up again, hand tight again, and then I just wiped away any sort of excess grease that might have been on there. Double check that you're engaging the little clicker. There's a little engage clicker to show that activates essentially your brake lights or anything on the bike. So just make sure that's engaging, disengaging properly. And that's it. Just decided to take it for a bit of a ride after I installed them. Unfortunately, you can't really see them as I go for a ride, but I heard some people commenting that they'd like to hear the bike more, so here's just a little blast of me getting onto the freeway, just going for a quick ride. Equipment, so this is just using my action camera's onboard audio. I tried to put a bit of material over the microphones to stop the wind blowout, but it's a very windy part of the highway near my house, so sorry you can't hear. You get a little wind blowout there. The video. I hope you all enjoyed that one, and I don't know how helpful it'll be for you, but if you're changing levers and you're at all confused, I guess you can check this guide. Maybe you're not too sure how to loosen or retighten the clutch